Alright guys, just another video to explain a little bit about automation and what it has done for me in getting good at automation, identifying the bottlenecking processes in my business, Essential Property Management, and a quick example of how I was able to help a client today get paperwork. It's December 30th. Get him some paperwork so that he could get back to a bank. An owner of a property, a partner, had asked me to share a 12-month trailing cash flow statement, provide a copy of the recent mortgage statement, and the rent roll. I said, yeah, no problem, I'll get it over to you. Again, he didn't press the matter, he didn't need it immediately. These are the things that we could quickly just get off of our plate, get owners satisfied with whatever they require, and move on with other management stuff. On another phone call when I got that phone call, and this is how we navigate. First, we identify, what's the urgency, getting an idea of what can we do and how quickly can we do that right the first time. I've spent a decade managing properties and automating processes, getting the software and getting the hardware necessary to operate properties in a financial aspect, in a process where we can quickly access documents. It's not a get a phone call while I'm at a property or busy doing personal stuff, at any time during the week. Could be Monday morning, I want to step out and go shopping, or it could be a Thursday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon. So we get that phone call, we get an idea of what it is that we can do, and we execute. So I was able to access the most recent rent roll by logging onto my system, my property management software, running that rent roll report, as well as the trailing 12-month cash flow statement, which my management software has its own prepackaged cash flow statement for 12 months. And yeah, I quickly took a look at my Google Drive and made sure that the leases that were current were correctly stated in the rent roll statement. It was just something that I quickly did. And I made one correction due to an amendment for an extension of a lease for one of the larger tenants at that property, and got that statement out. And the owner replied back by email. He was like, hey, is that lease really till 2032? And I said, yeah. I clicked the button, went to the Google Drive and copied that amendment and sent it straight to him. And that's how we do business. That's how quickly we were able to access documents. They're scanned in, no more shuffling 30,000, documents in a physical location, and you have to go to the office in order to get that paperwork. It's scanned in, get access to it on a Google Drive, and that's the software that I work with. I'm a Google fan, but I could access it from my phone, straight from my apps, and or if I'm sitting in front of it, by any chance I'm sitting in front of a computer, I quickly access that, get it off to the owner or whoever's requesting it, and get them on their way. Answering questions, knowing about the tenants. Again, this is extrapolating, data efficiency or just efficiency at what you do best across multiple things that help me take care of a client need within an hour. Something that might take just as a comparison, not to toot my own horn, but we're going to do it anyway. It takes you 5 to 10 business days to get back to an owner with such a statement. You got a problem. If it takes you 3 business days to get back to an owner with such a request, you've got a problem. It takes you 24 hours to do something like that. I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly what would fit in that scenario, why you wouldn't want to have those things ready for for getting that information out there. Within 24 hours. I mean, I think 24 hours is the deadline. Of course, again, bar, you're not working on a Saturday or Sunday or something like this where it's like borderline a holiday or in between holidays, like the end of the year. But again, I'm just good at what I do, and I want to get that stuff taken care of so I could focus on, at this point in time, end of year stuff, clearing out some of the receivables, clearing out some of the payables, doing some last minute stuff with clients, making sure that their new year is going to look and feel like how they want their building to be run. Putting together those budgets, getting an idea if there's any capital projects that they want to focus on, or if there's any special projects or anything like that, like evictions or collections, or insurance requirements. I've got 2 insurance required corrections that I need to make at a property. We were able to get a 30-day extension because nobody works in December. So, but yeah, great work. That's what we're doing with coaching as well. We're getting people from point A to point B with their decision-making process in the least painful way as possible. We're helping them identify those pain points, get them addressed so that you could move forward and get things done, point A to point B, in a true and clear way. And those are the kinds of concepts that help, at least in real estate, help owners get clear and concise information, help tenants and if it's a condo co-op, owners, or again, rental properties, get them the information that they need so that they could start making decisions. Open up those lines of communications with clients of any variety. Again, I treat everybody pretty much like they're a client. I treat a tenant like they're a client, and a super like they're a client, a vendor like they're a client, small-time vendor, big-time vendor, any client, 2-family, 1-family client, 40, 50 unit property, 80 unit property, 90 unit property. We are training people to get from point A to point B in the least painful way as possible. I think it's been a success so far. We're a decade into business, helping people manage the one asset, their one asset, most of the time. But yeah, it's been fun, and we're looking forward to a new 2026, and hopefully there's some more business ahead in both the management end and also in the coaching end. We're looking to get the coaching business fired up and get that out there and start hammering away at those kinds of clients. And again, the coaching experience is going to be for anybody who makes decisions, who wants to get from point A to point B in the least painful way as possible. If that sounds like a fit, if that sounds like what you should be doing, if that sounds like what you want to be doing, get on board. It's a couple $100 an hour, and we'll get you from point A to point B, clear out some of those obstacles, and monitor the situation.